It's time to fight with some annoying robots, my fellow ice cubes, because we are moving to the far future. A world of delicious citrons and dangerous sun bombs is waiting for us. It is the sixth world of our time adventure and yet another hope to find Dave's Taco. Today, we will stop the zombies from the 21st century from eating my brains by giving them some delicious hypno shrooms. Without further ado, let's fight against the terror from tomorrow. The future. Weird, I thought I would be hungrier. After all, I haven't eaten in 4,000 years. No comments. Now we know everything about the mysterious far future. Thank you so much, Crazy Dave. I guess that the future is the right time to start the shroom expansion, because not a single technology can stop the pipe shroom from spreading on the lawn. On day 1, we planted a lot of them, as it is the only mushroom allowed today. You can also ask me a question about pea shooters, but I didn't plant them, so it's not my problem. You can also see how my puff shrooms have easily defeated the jetpack zombies. That's the best proof that mushrooms are better than any futuristic technology. On day 2, we used one of the most iconic combinations to fight against the newly introduced shield zombie. His armor is so tough that it blocks pretty much all the mushrooms we use today, so we should be really careful with him. The only solution I found was the fume shroom, as its pores can easily reach the robot. Take that, Buckethead. Did you know that the Spore-shroom is still reliable in the far future? It is so effective right here that we were able to colonize the whole lawn with its copies. Yeah, day 3 was solo beaten by Dead Body. I always tell you to find the right way to use it, as this mushroom is a tough one with substantial hidden potential. You know how sometimes suns are bumps? This is one of these times. Crazy Dave is right, because day 4 is an interesting one. A level dedicated to collecting sun bombs can't be boring. I spent most of the level by simply planting magical shrooms. However, things got really hot when I received some plant foods that allowed me to spawn my own mechanized gargantuars. They were so good that not a single zombie could stop such a powerful pile of metal. Just don't tell my mom that I'm playing with a giant bully. Oh, and after finishing the level, we received a flame brain. Let's look at it. I spy with my crazy eye a UFB, an unidentified flying brain. Something more formidable than a brain lies within. What, a brain covered in a pineapple juice? Crazy Dave would definitely try it. Day 5 was an excellent one, because here I discovered that the Toadstool can consume the shield zombie with a single bite. However, the same can be said about the Robo Conehead, so be aware of such a dangerous pile of metal. Yet the level was cool and I really enjoyed beating it. You can pick your friends, but you can't pick these plants. But some of my best friends are plants. Fair enough. Day 6 was a chill level, where we had to deal with the futuristic zombies using only green plants. It didn't contain any mushrooms, but I really enjoyed playing with such a great plant combination. Those green little dudes have definitely shown their plant supremacy to all kinds of zombies. Day 7 was probably the cheapest level after day 1, as I spent only 400 cents to beat the entire level. I still can't believe that 4 columns of scaredy shrooms cost the same as 4 pea shooters, as each of them is so good for a hilariously low price of 25 cents. It's a universal weapon for each stage of our time adventure, and as time goes on, you'll be sure of it. Oh yeah, after successfully finishing the level, we received a tablet. Let's look at it. It says there is an error. Can you come here and fix it, Penny? Did you try unplugging and plugging it back in? That's what I usually do when the Wi-Fi isn't working. Brains not found. Please reload brains? Wait, do they want me to go to sleep? Actually, I would like to. On day 8, we had to survive the massive zombie attack using the futuristic plants. Unfortunately, the level didn't contain any mushrooms, but that's a good chance to tell you something interesting about the far future. Did you know that it's supposed to be the first world introducing gargantuars? It was developed around the same time as the first 3 worlds, meaning that the far future had to be the next step in the game's hardness. It would make a gargantuar a really unique and tough zombie, but unfortunately, PopCap decided to take a different approach to understanding the role of gargantuars. On day 9, I couldn't plant more than 15 plants on the lawn, but that didn't stop me from placing 15 toadstools on the lawn. Their sticky tongues are a perfect weapon for the far future. If you have such a unique mushroom in your deck, make sure to use it right here. Day 10 was the right time to take the Spore-shroom and try it out in a new reality. I like to plant a full column of fluffy friends, as it allows them to easily substitute the eaten mushrooms on the floor. Spore-shroom is also a good weapon against the Discatron 3000 and its annoying Pokemon zombies. Bro has literally one of the coolest plant food abilities in the game. I like to save some sun for a rainy day. I like to collect some mushrooms after a rainy day. Day 11 was finally the first last stand level of the far future. The main idea today is to beat the level using my lovely Spore-shrooms, as they can grow their numbers just like real mushrooms do after a good rainy day. I also saved some suns for critical situations to spawn my own gargantuars and ensure that my brain is protected. At one point, I couldn't even understand what was happening on the lawn, but I really enjoyed the fact that the number of shrooms on my lawn was rapidly growing. I suppose I need to set up my own shroom farm. To make my gameplay even more interesting, I decided to beat day 12 using the Ice-shroom. The sharp guy is so effective that he didn't even let the gargantuar get close to him. The rest of the zombies also suffered from their sharp icicles, which allowed me to beat the level without any problems. On day 13, I decided to create a new challenge for myself. This time I had to beat the entire level using only 5 toadstools. It was hard, and I even lost a lawnmower due to the lack of sun. However, with the help of the power tiles, we managed to consume all the zombies and even destroy the walking machines. Does anyone want to say that the Toadstool is a bad shroom? Because I won't allow you to do that. Day 14 limited my sun usage, so I decided to fully ignore the rules of this level, as I wouldn't spend a single sun while beating it. The only shroom that could allow me to do so was my favorite PVZ2. You might think that he isn't strong enough to deal with tough zombies, but I want to prove you to the opposite. PVZ2 is so good that he's capable of dealing even with the shield zombie, which isn't the easiest enemy. Just plant the 4 columns of these shrooms to use them in the most efficient way. That's how the mushroom supremacy looks like. Protect those Citrons. It takes a lot of pulp to stand your ground like that. Day 15 was a hard one, as protecting Citrons in front of the zombies isn't the easiest task. For the first time, I tried to beat it by using Spore-shroom in combo with Vamperchini. Everything was going fine until the end, when I forgot to protect one of the Citrons. I couldn't repeat such a mistake on my second attempt, so I planted a few columns of scaredy shrooms to ensure that my citruses are protected. This time, everything worked just as I wanted it to be. 11 flopas out of 10. Day 16 was an epic conveyor belt level, which didn't contain any mushrooms, so let me tell you something interesting. Did you know that the far future is already 11 years old? I still can't believe that it's been over 4,000 real days since this world was released. Now I feel myself really old, because I remember reading it to the game. I was 10 back then. Day 17 was entirely dedicated to a magnifying glass, so I suggest you to skip it. But before doing that, take a look at its insane plant food ability. On day 18, we had to produce 6,000 suns to beat the level. At first, I thought it was possible to reach that number using the sun producing power of the Toadstool. However, I was wrong, as we generated less than 2,000 suns by the end of it, so we had to find another way to reach that goal. Of course, the only other way to get such a big amount of sun was to place the sun shrooms all over the lawn. It also allowed me to try out the nightcap in a new reality, which was a good decision, as it's capable of dealing with all the weak zombies. Yet, the most interesting scene I found while beating it was the reaction of the mecha football zombie to the doom shroom. They couldn't move it away or blow it up, which turns such a specific shroom into an excellent shield against the tanky zombies. Day 19 was beaten pretty randomly, only to make the gameplay less repetitive and more saturated with an unexpected turn of scenes. Everyone should beware before trying to bite my shrooms, as some of them can cause you lots of trouble. Day 20 was a huge pain, as I spent numerous attempts trying to beat it, only because some of the zombies reached my starfruits when I was dealing with the annoying imps at the back of the lawn. Luckily, a great combo of Scaredy Shroom and Fume Shroom made this level possible to beat. Just try to find your own way to beat that level using only shrooms. That's gonna be an interesting experiment. On day 21, I had to gather 5,000 suns and place no more than 16 plants. Therefore, for such a specific demands, I had to select a particular mushroom. The ice shroom is a synonym of words like stability and reliability, as its damage output is high enough to deal with the heaviest enemies we can imagine. Day 22 was the second last stand level of this world, which I decided to beat with the help of my favorite shroom, so once again, I also prepared some hypno shrooms in case if something goes wrong. This level was much harder than the previous one, and sometimes the pressure on me was insane, but I managed to hold on to the final wave, and even so a fight between my gargantuar and the zombie one. Not without the losses, but we managed to hold on the zombie attack. Day 23 wasn't so interesting, it was just a usual level of the far future that was beaten with the help of the Toadstools. I guess that my froggy dudes are already tired of eating the futuristic zombies with their insane technologies. Day 24 was a great one, as we received a good amount of sun, which allowed me to spam a ton of Spore-shrooms at the back of the lawn. It was the most epic battle of the far future, as there were a lot of different zombies and lots of Spore-shrooms. I guess that's what we call a terror from tomorrow, as nothing can illustrate it better than day 24. And of course, our shroom army has easily won the battle against the machines. Hey neighbor, can I borrow your brains? Hot sauce. Oh yeah, Crazy Day finally wants to study mass. Unfortunately, day 25 didn't contain any mushrooms, so it was just a usual battle with Dr. Zomboss that lasted only 3 minutes. That's a new record. Oh, that was hypno amazing. Just don't tell me he had a hypno shroom. I want to eat that hypno taco once again. I need my time machine. What? Wait a minute, what was I saying again? Did anyone add a hypno sauce to Dave's taco? Anyway, the key is mine, which means that we are moving to the Dark Ages. Another 20 levels are waiting for us, but this time with no suns falling from the sky and no sun shrooms.